What's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is Nicholas Manganas, your strength hypertrophy coach, and today we're jumping on a trend that everyone is jumping on, and we're going to talk about none other than the biggest fitness slash bodybuilding influencer, and that is Sam Sulek. Now I gotta go make this video very quickly because I gotta go and eat. It's late and I gotta go see my girlfriend who is waiting for me. I'm in my office right now. So yeah, Sam Sulek recently competed to qualify for the Arnold's Amateur Classic Physique competition. Even though it's an amateur competition, it's a very big competition, so he had to qualify first. And the past week he competed in Las Vegas and he won his division. He won his weight cup and he also won the overall. It's very important to mention that Sam stated that he was self-coached. It's his very first competition. He's also very young. He's like 23 years old, I think. And I'm gonna give you my thoughts on how he did, because this channel is not only about training technique and training approach, but I'm also a huge fan of bodybuilding and enthusiast, and I would very much love to compete myself, but I find it a very difficult sport. And even though I'm gonna give it a try in the future, maybe I'd like to talk about it because I've been watching bodybuilding since 2003. I know most of the stuff, and we're gonna have an objective and subjective opinion on Sam Sulek's performance. So let's examine the data here. So Sam, in the off season, he weighted around 240 to 260. At some point he was even as big as 280, maybe 275, I don't remember. But in order to compete to classic physique, I believe Sam Sulek is around 5'11", so he had to weigh, in the amateur classic physique competition, he had to weigh around 217, and to cut down to that level from that off season is as hard as it gets. It's like 50 something pounds less to compete at your weight cup, and he managed to be there. He managed to be at 216 the day right before the competition, so he was extremely lean. You could see like cross striation in his quads, in his vastus lateralis and vastus medialis, and he also had the Christmas tree, even though it was February. So yeah, Sam was very, very lean, like close to 5% body fat, maybe even less at the competition day. And at the competition time, he was really, really ripped, really, really shredded. Ripped is an understatement. So I'm giving him all props and credits for his effort for his very first competition. He was self-coached. Everything was down to the T, down to the last detail. So only thing I have to say on Sam is that his posing was a little bit off. Not entirely off, but a little bit, because I think he didn't have someone to coach him through the posing routine. He could represent himself, demonstrate his physique in a better way, we could say. Of course, he went through the mandatory poses when he was posing against other people in the call-out, but when he was on his own, he was like hitting the poses without any specific routine, without any specific transition. And when it's classic, you need to have those transitions. You need to make your routine look smooth and easy going, and very pleasing to the eyes of the judges and the audience. I think he didn't have that, not because he's not a good poser. He's very good at posing, but he hasn't practiced a routine, and he also didn't practice his posing very much, because you could see when he was doing like the Arnold pose, where you put the hand behind your head and the elbow upright and the other bicep, you could see he could pull a vacuum. You could see his lats flaring out. You could see all the muscle bellies, but he wasn't flexing his quads as hard. He wasn't flexing them at all, I think, because he's not very familiar with posing. And like when he was hitting the side chest pose, I think he nailed, the upper body and his side of the leg. But, you could say that he could have a little bit of more of a hamstring drop, and he definitely needed to have chosen a different pair of trunks, because he was hiding most of the times his glutes, and you kind of want to see the glute striations, especially in classic physique, because you want to see the conditioning. The classic physique represents the gnarly, grainy look and the aesthetics, like the overall proportions and aesthetics, and you need to be very conditioned. Now, Sam was very conditioned, but he needed a different pair of trunks so he could show his glutes. Unless his glutes were not so much shredded, you can't say. I believe that in his next competition, which is Arnold Classic Amateur, he's going to fix that. He's going to choose a different pair of trunks. But anyways, now let's compare Sam to the other guys that he was competing against. So in his weight cap, there was a guy that was a little bit bigger than Sam. He was a little bit like kind of more mature. He was more of a seasoned bodybuilding competitor. And I'm not going to talk about all of the guys because like the other guys were not even proportional. I don't want to discredit their efforts, but they look like they needed a lot more preparation for a competition, I suppose. Where on the other hand, Sam was way more proportionate and symmetrical, and you could see when he was like exposing his physique with that front double bicep, you could see his quads from the front very well separated. You could see a narrow, small waist. I don't know why people are saying that he doesn't have a small waist. Maybe because he doesn't know how to present it. Maybe he's not as seasoned as some other guys. He could grow his lats and make his waist look smaller. So yeah, very well peaked biceps. He could have a little bit more of a hanging tricep, but let's not take away anything from Sam because he's very young and he's competing for the first time, so you couldn't possibly expect of him to be at his all-time best. But he brought his best. That's what we should care about. And it's very important to pinpoint that when someone is competing for the first time, even that as a task for that person, for that individual, is remarkable. So I couldn't imagine like how stressed he might potentially was, but I don't think Sam Sulek is getting stressed ever. He's always so chill. And I don't think he cared about the opinions of others. I think he did it because he wanted to. He wants to become a bodybuilder and to pursue the bodybuilding career. And I think he's going to do very well if he carries on with this amount of dedication and consistency. So yeah, I believe in the call out that he was with his weight cap competitors. He was way ahead of the other competitors and he deserved that win. It was, in my eyes, a slam dunk win. And when it comes down to classic physique, I believe that aesthetics and symmetry and condition should play the major role. It's not about size. It's not about looking like an open bodybuilder. It's about symmetry, the lines, the posing, the smoothness, the flow of the body, all of those elements combined. Also, Sam was pulling the vacuums very well, which none other competitor did at all. They didn't even try, I think. I don't think I can see that. But one thing I need to criticize Sam about is when the judges said relax, he was kind of like really relaxed, that he wasn't posing his lats, like he wasn't like flaring his lats from the front and keeping his elbows a little bit higher. He was just chilling right there, like he wasn't even posing. He was just standing smiling. I think it was because he's an amateur competitor and it's not something that he was doing it on purpose. But anyways, it is what it is. He did very well, I think. In my opinion, he's gonna do very well in the Arnold Sports Festival, the Amateur Arnold Classic, and I hope he gets his pro card. Everybody wants Sam to do very well. I just wish him to do very well because I like the guy. He's a very chill guy, very genuine, and I haven't met him, but we'll meet at some point, I think. One last thing I need to mention here is that at some point Sam, he mentioned that from prejudging to the finals, he carved up so much that he ate 900 grams of carbs, and even though his quads right before the competition were cross-striated, on stage they didn't look as defined as they were right before the competition. So I think refilling and refeeding right after the weigh-in, I think that you should take it easy. Like you shouldn't go as high as 900 grams of carbs. That's like, I don't know, a lot of calories for your system to absorb and digest. So even though he was able to pull a vacuum, maybe some other areas due to genetics or due to, I don't know, lack of nutrient absorption, he was kind of spilling over in his quads. Maybe that's why his quads were not as defined as before the show. But other than that, he did very well. He did great. It was his very first competition. He was self-coached. He's 23 years old and he is such a big name. He brings so much attention to the sport, and I think we should all give him credit just for that. I mean, he's a good bodybuilder after all, even though he's a bodybuilding influencer. He's about to become a pro bodybuilder, hopefully, potentially. But now that he stepped on stage, he's officially a bodybuilder. That's what people say. That's what everybody says. So we can argue all day, but since he stepped on stage, he's an amateur bodybuilder right now. And to wrap things up, I want to mention that I am officially, I think I mentioned that before, but I am officially part of Bucket Squad team and family. And if you guys want to check them out, I'm going to leave a link down in the description below, and you can go check them out. They make the absolute best basketball gear you can ever find. By gear, I mean apparel. They are a clothing brand, and they make, as you probably understand, apparel for basketball. And I love basketball. I used to play basketball professionally. I used to be a huge fan of basketball. I still am, but I'm also wearing and rocking the gear when I'm going to the gym, or when I'm going out with my friends or my girlfriend, or whenever I'm going out in general. So if you guys want to check them out, I'm going to leave the link in the description down below. And you can also get a 20% off by using my code NickManganas for an extra 20% off at the checkout. So do not hesitate. You are helping me so much by using my code. And apart from that, I would like to urge you all to subscribe to the channel for more training evidence-based insights. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you want more videos like this with me critiquing other bodybuilders and how they perform, or other fitness influencers and how they approach training and fitness in general, let me know in the comments down below. And if you don't want to miss out on future content, click the bell notification button so you can get notified next time I'm posting a video. And also, if you're looking for an experienced coach to help you achieve your fitness goals, you can also check out my online coaching application form in the description down below, and I'll get right back to you as soon as I see it. So yeah, let's get better together. And until next time, stay strong, stay healthy, stay sexy, and lift heavy. Boom, I am out.